Hello and welcome to another Let's Play of Eldfall Chronicles Northern Wind. I have put up here the campaign map, and just as a little recap, we started here at the campsite Mount Bojo Footholds. The party split to take these two other events. We met at the Hilltop Temple, and last time we resolved the Ghost Procession as well as the Yuki-onna as our two events, and we fought at the Mount Byojo Summit Gateway, where we were beaten by Gurren, and now we have to choose which of these three paths we want to go. And I had chosen that we go to Mount Senjo, so basically the undead path. So let's read what we have here. Arc 2, Mount Senjo. Thousand Temples Mountain. Mount Senjo was once a beacon of enlightenment and spiritual transcendence, its towering peaks a sanctuary for the devoted Rishinkyo monks. These practitioners followed the Rishin teachings, sought liberation from the circle of life and death, and a greater understanding of innate power. Through meditation, burial rites, and profound rituals, they maintained harmony between the mortal and spiritual realms. Their presence ensured the mountains remained a place of balance where tormented souls, especially those lost in the Crimson Ages, the wars that ravaged Soga lands, were cleansed and guided to peace. Travelers ascending this path were greeted by serene places of worship, tranquil villages, and countless Jitsu statues standing as guardians of lost souls. The mountain itself bore carvings of Rishin and celestial protectors, their watchful gaze etched into cliffs and forest clearing embodying serenity and divine strength. The path was an awe-inspiring pilgrimage, winding through lush forests and terraced monasteries, its ancient stone steps flanked by all bell-shaped monuments, shrines, and fluttering prayer flags. At every turn, meditation platforms opened to reveal valleys captured in mists and peaks, crowned with monasteries glowing in the light of countless lanterns. The air was filled with the murmur of mantras and the rhythmic hum of bells that marked the passage of time. But this harmony has been shattered. Mount Senjo now lies in the grip of a Rasetsu and his Blue Oni clan. The sacred sites have been defiled, the burial sites dug up, temples once alive with chanting and the aroma of incense now echo with the anguished wails of the restless dead. Graveyards and pagodas, once sanctuaries of eternal rest, are now hunting grounds for the undead. Rivers and streams once used for purification rituals run stagnant and dark. The boundary between life and death has blurred, and every corner of the mountains seems to pulse with profane energy. So, the Chaos deck is constructed with 1 to 16, 31 to 33, and 24 to 26. Here is a mistake, which is corrected in the errata PDF at the homepage. It says that this is a printing error and it should only be treated as 32 to 32. So only 31 and 32, not 33. This is not existent. So, and this is used for the remainder of Arc 2. And the event deck should include these number 2, 3, 6, and so on, including 17. Do not include any cards that were already resolved and removed. Shuffle these cards together and use this arrangement for the remaining of the campaign unless instructed otherwise. So, why I pointed out the 17? Because 17 as event card is the Ghost Procession. We already resolved it previously, so I will play that the 17 will not be included this time because we already resolved it. So with all that said, as you can see here once again, we go down to Mount Senjo. We have to resolve the event, but for that I will just quickly put together the event card and also put up the field, and then we will go on with the event. Give me a minute. So, with the quest log, the map, and the new quest deck, event deck ready, we will go to this event from the Mount Bojo Summit Gateway to this location and then to the temple ground lookouts. Before I do that, I will just turn around the dusk. I have to remember that the event is resolved at daylight. I will just do this way because otherwise I'm pretty sure I will forget that occasionally, and I do not want that to happen. And our event we get are courting in spring. You are resting next to the hot spring, healing your wounds and thinking about the past days. You gaze at the turned back of your companions resting on the other side. Okay. So, courting out to them, invite them over. You would like to know them better. Read E34. Or don't be weird, you're naked, just stare at the water. Very interesting water. I will go with the first one, partially because I had seen that we are having some special synergy cards, and I'm interested in that. So, even when it's only 2 days, let's go with this. So, page 115. Let me just... I already put it here. Let's turn the page. 151 E34. Courting in spring. You have grown closer to your companions through this journey. Together you have fought battles, overcome hardships, and despite the grim circumstances, found moments of camaraderie and joy in each other's company. You trust them with your life, but perhaps one companion has become even more special to you. While there is a little time, you have this brief moment to spend with them before the journey continues. If there is something you wish to say or a confession you've been holding on to, now is the time. You may approach another hero and confess your feelings, whether romantic or platonic. If they reciprocate, you can form a bond with that hero, and both heroes may select and obtain a romantic synergy card, one each. 2 heroes that share a bond are partners. Okay, I'm absolutely not sure how they will reciprocate. This is not so for the... See anything else? No. Also, I have the errata open next to it, so I assume that you can just ask them, and I will say they agree. So each of them use a romance strategy card, and they will become partners. I will just look to the romance strategy card and select 2 heroes, and I will give them the synergy card. So, this was quite a lucky event. Let me just do that, and I'll let you join afterwards at the Temple Grounds lookout. Okay, I have decided which love synergy cards I will choose. I have chosen Guardian of Love for Sagan, so he can use the Protector skill on the partner without spending an activation point. And when using Protector on another partner, while the model that is not the partner, while the partner is engaged, it costs an additional activation point. And I choose as his partner Nara. For Nara has the Lover's Bound, which gives her +3 offense and defense when engaging in hostile that is also engaged by the partner, and -3 to these stats while she is engaged with hostile that is not engaged with her partner. So I believe that these 2 cards might become very effective, especially since I try to get the Square Off synergy card. When using Protector, make a free reaction with a strike 1 attack and gain knockback 1. So whenever you have to unlock it by whenever you suffer a wound while using the Protector skill, place a synergy point on this card. So I'm hoping that these 2, so Nara will recklessly attack anyone, and Sagan tries to keep up and to protect her and suffer wounds, so that Nara can afterwards use her Necromancy 3 in an attempt, if Sagan goes down, to use a second chance to... the target regains 1 HP. If the target also was incapacitated, it also regains 1 activation point. So I hope that this idea of a strategy, let's call it that, will work. We also have here 3 new models. We have the 2 Bone Walkers. This one is with a sword. This one is with an axe. And also the blue Rasetsu. Here he is. Quite a nice miniature. And with all this, as you can see here, I still have to put down their behavior card and profile cards. But before that, and before we with this jump into the game, let's get into the background of the Temple Grounds Lookout. The temple grounds of Mount Senjo stretch across multiple tiers, each level once representing a step closer to spiritual transcendence. Now, these ancient grounds are but shadows of the former glory. The cracked stone steeps leading between tiers are choked with weeds, while creeping moss and vines engulf the ornate walls of temples and monasteries. The winding path takes you through crumbling cemeteries and fortress-like shrines, reminders of a time when this mountain was a bastion of enlightenment and protection. Pushing through the dense Falkland forest, you arrive at a clearing. There, the ruins of an ancient temple rise before you, a sacred site once devoted to Rishin, the spirit of enlightenment and central figure of the Rishin-kyo faith. But the temple has become a twisted mockery of its former self. The stank of blood and scorched bones fills the air, wafting from cauldron-like burners that once carried the scent of sacred incense. The ground is scattered with broken statues and shattered lanterns, smeared with dried gore, marking the desecration wrought by the Oni. As you step through the temple's ruined veiled, a sudden shift in the air prickles at your senses, as through the unseen predator is circling. The fog seems heavier here, thick and oppressive. Without warning, the lanterns flare, their flames blaze a brilliant teal. A deep unease settles over you. You are not alone. Then pain laces through your skull, forcing you to your knees. Through the haze of agony, you see ancient bones rising from the snow, summoned by some unseen force. Beyond the skeletal form, a figure emerges, a horned creature bathed in a cerulean glow. Its 3 glowing purple eyes pierce through the gloom, unblinking and cold. Then a deep, resonant voice invades your mind, its words like shards of ice slicing through your thoughts. Persistent, are we? Let us see what you are truly capable of. I placed nearly the whole field. I still have to place the incense burner here. I did it. Bone walkers, place encounter, and place blue Rasetsu. We have here persistent hostiles. When a hostile becomes incapacitated or dead, do not remove it from the field, unless as a result of an effect. Mind invasion. The quest starts with a hostile turn, while all heroes crouched. So, the opponents go first, and distracted if attacked read secret log B00. Quest ends when all heroes leave the field through the exit, which is here at the top right. So, we have quite a long way to go. Since the hostiles begin the game, let me just put out their stat cards and behavior cards, and we will start the game. Okay, as you can see here, I gave all the heroes the crouch condition. And now, since our heroes our heroes' mind were invaded, sorry for that, we'll start with the opponents, starting with the lowest tier as per rules. This means that the Bone Walkers will start. And according to their activation card, movement step, engaged our line of sight, walk towards enemy, they will only rotate, but since we have line of sight, obviously, to the heroes, the Bone Walker, I will start with the upper one, we'll just walk 1, 2, to get into this space, and he will attack, let's say, Theros. Theros will activate using a dodge action, and Nara will also activate, and she will try to attack the Bone Walker because... Is she allowed to attack? Because her weapon is only the same space and he is... Okay, I believe that she's not allowed to attack. The Bone Walker is allowed to attack despite his reach of equal to the same space, because this space here is full. So Theros, he has only a defense value of 8, so yeah, he will definitely try to dodge. And Nara will also use this for dodge action. And I will say that the other two, Sagan and Anari, will also use this for dodge action. So Anari will go here, Sagan will go here too. Nara will just go one space ahead. Yeah, Sagan will stay here, and Theros will also go. Let me rethink that. You will go there, and Theros will also go here. So this will be a dodge, because I want to try and have the partners close to each other. So with this, we have the attack of the Bone Walker with an offense of 10, +1 offense, defense, accuracy for every other undead ally within its awareness. 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is not the case, therefore only 10 for the undead. With a 15, it is not enough, so I will do not roll for Theros dodge. Next, I will go with this Bone Walker. 1, 2, into contact here. And it will try to attack Anari, but before that, I also have to put down all the activation tokens from the hero first. And also remove their engaged state, because all heroes use the dodge action to get up and away. But with this, here for this Bone Walker, who has an armor of 2 and 1 wound, Anari is attacked. Anari will use her foresight. And will Theros do something? He could... Item use is in a strategic phase, I believe. Well, since these are weapons, he can also use it. Targetless, hazy, must perform a roll with half movement value. Incapacitated. And it's a blast small. Now Theros will use a soporific grenade, because he is now also an alchemist. He can regain that non-arcane consumable. And he will use that on this space. Affected models must perform a roll with halved... moral, not movement, moral. So it's only a 10 or less. 50-50 chance. Nah. Instead, he will attack with a Thenian crossbow. And with the Thenian crossbow, he will use a sniper rule, which ignores modifiers in close combat, but he will only have strike 1, which he has anyway, and he will use assassination 1. So before the undead gets into the field, he will use his Thenian crossbow. Total accuracy because of the modifier of 17 now, and with a 19 he failed. So glorious waste of activation. Now, because Anari used her foresight, the Bone Walker will attack her with 1 attack. Sorry, 2 attacks. He has strike 2. It's a critical hit and a 20. I also just have to resolve another attack against Theros. I will just quickly do that. A 6 would have been a hit. Theros dodge of 13 or less. He successfully dodged. So this was a natural 20 and a natural 1, both ends of the extreme. Will she activate? She will not activate because of the critical hit. She will just take it, even when she only has 1 wound. And it is an armor of 3. Now she will use her foresight. Or let's see if the undead wounds is after the active. I believe with foresight it's a quite convoluted rule. It is not here. I will just do the whole attack sequence and then decide if she will react to it or not. So it would be a critical hit, which ignores the armor. It has power of 10. With a 14 it will not wound, so therefore Anari will not use her activation point. So That was this undead's first activation. And now these two undeads are within 3 inches. Theros is out of activation points, which means that this undead will want to go into the same space as these two heroes and attack Theros. But since these two have 360-degree, Nara because of her acute sense and Sagan because his vigilance, these two are allowed to activate 2, but they won't do so because they have no weapon which can reach the undead. But Anari is able to react. Anari will... Does she has anything meaningful in this instance? Something like blast? Let's just see. The target becomes immobilized on hit until the caster's next frost would be water lash. Deep freeze has no damage. Glacial circle. Blast large, so it could be this and this space, these two. By spending 1 mana, may increase the strike value. Arrow hit becomes slowed on hit. Not really. Suffers a hit from a melee attack, must perform an agility roll. Yeah, she will try the frost as soon as the skeleton or the bone walker is here. And frost has this is spray small with 1 strike. Spray small is the same space and space earlier, so basically as soon as he's here, she will activate and use her spell. Also, she will use her foresight once again to see if the bone water actually hits. This time, because of the special, it has an offense of 11, 8 and 10, 2 hits, power of 10 minus the armor of 2, 8 or less. This would be also 2 wounds, therefore she will definitely spend her activation point and cast the frost. So, as soon as the skeleton is here, to avoid that Theros instantly goes down, it's a roll of 15. And she now has an intelligence of 16, so the spell roll is successful. Which means target becomes immobilized on a hit. The skeleton stays where it is until the caster's next strategic phase, and the skeleton suffers a strength 11 minus armor 2. Here, minus armor 2. 19, no wound. But the skeleton's turn now, and it also has 2 attacks against Anari this time. 11 or less, 2 hits. And let's see, with a 10 and a 4, it has a power of 10 minus Anari's armor of now 3. The 10 fails to wound, but the 4 manages to wound her. So she suffers 1 wound, and with this she is incapacitated. And let's look, hits, but the damage fail rolls, and she also gets a weak point. Weak point and already incapacitated because she only has 1 wound. Now let's go to the blue Rosetsu, Aomaru. Closest enemy are these 2. So, any walk towards enemy, stop 1 inch away if able. So, 1, 2, 3. Enemy is not enemy within 3. 1, 2. It is the case. Range attack target with Tormented Soul. And he will try to attack the healer, which will trigger from Sagan, the protector skill. So, Nara will use now her veteran's intuition for her foresight. Sagan will use protector, which this is blast large. And blast large affects all models within the target space and one adjacent space. Adjacent space in this instant is not relevant. But will Sagan actually do that? Protector skill? No, he will dodge. That makes more sense, and Nara will wait. So we have here strike 1. It's a ranged spell and weapon. Since it's a spell, it is with its intelligence of 15. Nara will wait. Sagan on his end will dodge forwards. Or will he take it? Armor, poison 2. What does poison 2 means? Model becomes poison state. The poison state -6 toughness. On fail suffer 1 wound. Oh, that's really nasty. Attack with this weapon have profane element profane, which Sagan has resistance 1 thanks to his pelt. And Nara has nothing. Nara will wait before with a foresight, and Sagan, he has an agility of 11. Sagan will gamble and take the hit. So, let's see. The Blue Rosetsu, int 15, and with a 17, both are lucky. This was the first activation of the Oni, of the Blue Rosetsu. So, lucky Sagan, lucky Nara. This time, second activation, closest enemy, Demon, Charm 2, Chain Attack. And Charm 2 courses, by the way. Declaring a reaction against this model must first perform an intro. On a failed roll, they may only declare nothing until the end. So this is quite the charming Oni. But enemies within 3, it is the case. Enemy within 1 inch. So first walk towards stop 1 space away, which is now the case. And now he will make within 1 inch melee attack using Berserk 1. If multiple enemies are within, use Berserk 2. Berserk 2 is sweep. So now the Warp Club will try to sweep here. He will attack Nara. Nara once again will wait because of foresight. And Sagan will react and will attack the Oni Marauder this time, which he cannot do because of it's the same space. Okay, sorry about that. Sagan will wait. So Nara will also, Sagan will take the hit, Nara will wait. Since it's the offense turn, War Club, strike 2. And it's an offense of 13. 9 and a natural 1. This is really nasty because these are 2 hits. Nara will definitely activate. She will try to dodge. Yeah, she will try to dodge. Let's see, she has an agility of 13. No, actually she will try to defend. Because she's +3, she's in the same space as Sagan. And has a defense of 15. So let's see. And with a 9, at least she's able to also hit the... she will 1 hit there, and then afterwards the erection. Okay, I will just stay with my original decision that she will dodge, because the second hit would most likely hit her anyway and make her out of action. And with this, she will dodge. This one will hit Sagan. The natural 1 will also hit her, but it's only 1 hit, not 2. So, as I said, Sagan will take the hit. Yeah. And here, Sagan taking the hit doesn't make any sense because the Honorable will attack once again. Sagan will also dodge to get into the same space. So this is this. Nara will dodge. Sagan with an 8 also successfully will dodge. Unexpected. So both will ignore the 9, but both will be hit with the natural 1. Starting with Nara, it's toughness 15 plus 4, so with this it's toughness, it's power 19. Nara, is wounded, and Sagan 7 is also wounded. And I totally forgot to declare reaction against this model must first perform an interroll. Let's see, Nara in 13 is unable to, so sorry, she stays here. Gets her activation point and a second wound. Sagan in 13, 6 he's allowed to dodge, so okay. Nara is hit a second time, minus armor 3. Because of her Ironhide, it's 16 or less. She is wounded. And with this 2 wounds, she's also incapacitated immediately. It absolutely does not look good. And now, the Oni Marauder activates a third time. And he will once again use his War Club. 2 strikes against Sagan. 10 and 7, 2 hits, because offense 13. Power 19 minus 6 is 13 or less. 7, 10, and 11, it's an additional wound. So here we are now. Heavily damaged. Let's continue with the hero's activation. Nara down, Anari down, both casts are down, which is really bad. So Tharos and Sagan. Since I'm at least curious what will happen at the secret log, I will activate Sagan first, who will go to page 118 because he will attack the Oni Marauder. Hoping that this is some bluff or similar. You attack Elias cleanly through the horned figure. With no resistance, the form unraveled into smoke, vanishing into the air. Remove the blue Rosetsu miniature immediately. I thought that it would be something like that. So, what the case? Distracted hostile here. And there's nothing, so this one is immediately down. Next, Tharos has a movement of 3. He could try to dodge. And a line of sight enemy will then use melee attack. Okay, if attacked, not if hit, so therefore this was immediately before the blue Rosetsu activated. The Bone Walker will... what will the Bone Walker do? A reaction enemy will then attack. Tharos +1 strike and Tharos will activate. He will try to attack the Bone Walker into the same space as he is. The Bone Walker will activate and will attack back. So only strike 1, but defense value of 9. Tharos has 2 strikes because of the sword and 1 because of the sword rule. In the active I have no idea. And attacking an enemy that has melee reach of the same space, which is the case. So, strike value of 3, offense of 13. Let's see. 3, 3, 20. And the Bone Walker rolls a 14, so failed to parry. And with this, 2 3s, he has a total toughness of 17 because Assassination 1, and I just see that he is also Assassination 2, which users attack gain poison. He will not use that against undead. Armor of 2, so 15 or less. 11 and 20. He is destroyed, he is incapacitated, but it is not removed per the special rule of the scenario. And now, these two have to clear the whole mission. Since the healer with Nara and Anari are both down. Yeah, Theros will activate. 1, 2, 3. Go here. And he will use his Thenian crossbow. Yeah, Thenian crossbow. To attack. With snipe and assassination 1. 16 or less. It's a natural 20, that's a fail. Yeah, Sagan will activate with 2. He will also attack the undead, which will react by an attack of its own. So, let's go with Sagan, offense of 14 or less. Natural 1, the undead, also natural 1, so both hit each other. The undead, 10 minus armor 6, needing a 4 or less. 17, which is not enough. Sorry, ignoring the armor, but the 17 is still not enough because it's not 10 or less. And -3 incoming attacks. So yeah, okay, it was only a natural 1. Okay, and I also forgot the range defense of 3 or more. Sagan, ignoring the armor, has a total power of +2, 15 or less. It's a 14, which is enough to incapacitate this undead as well. Using his ranger class, 1-2 spaces to Theros. That was not ideal, and I also forgot to draw the first Chaos card. So let's see. I think most likely I will have to replay this mission because it's already devastated. We have, since as I said previously, in the event, this case is the dusk, and I believe the dust is already a night effect. Spawn to here 1 hero space in front of the first hero. Well, shit. Sorry for this expression, but I will just put 2 Vengeful Spirits in front of these 2 and see what happens. So, with 2 Vengeful Spirits on the board, the first one will activate. It will move into the same space as Sagan and Theros, and it will attack Theros. Theros, because the more a miniature moves into it, will react with an attack with his Thenian crossbow, because it uses accuracy, and yeah, this is his better value. So, let's see. The opponent has an offense of 10. It's a failure. Theros, accuracy of 16. 5, he wins the confrontation. And let's see, assassination 1, power 16 in total. Not 0 armor, but it is incorporeal. So 17 becomes 8, I rounded up is 9 or less. And with a natural 1, he immediately managed to ban this undead. The second undead will activate. It will do something similar and will try to attack Theros. Theros once again will react by using her Thenian crossbow, and Sagan will also activate and attack it with his Nagamaki, because now it is in the same space. Let's see, the Vengeful Spirit, with a 9 it will hit Theros in the confrontation. With a 5 he loses the confrontation. Yeah, he loses the confrontation. So, ignoring the armor, the Vengeful Spirit has a power of 10. And with a 20 he fails to wound Theros, but he gains a weak point. And Sagan normally only 1, but since he now is a sentinel, he gets an additional strike in his reactive roll. And he will use the Fencing 3 skill, second wind, to get a third attack. Defense of 14. 3 12s. 3 hits. Since this time it is not enchanted magically, he will also has to halve his power of 15 to 7, rounded up 8. 14, 16 and 19 there is no successful strike, but this is one weak point. Now it will activate again, will attack Theros, and Sagan will use it to attack the Restless Spirit again. Now the Restless Spirit will attack Sagan because he's only one wound away from being defeated. So the Restless Spirit needing a 10 or less, it's a 7. And now Sagan, once again using 3 attacks. 3 and 6 are countered by the 7, but the 12 means that he wins the confrontation and once again is allowed to try rolling an 7 or 8. Let's see, 13 is far from being enough. So, the hero's already getting overwhelmed. Now, it's the hero's turn. And because Sagan did not manage to wound, the ghost gets a second weak token. Sagan could have used to... no, sorry, critical ignores armor and it has no armor. Okay, everything's fine. And the hostile also gets true reaction. So let's begin with Sagan. Sagan will attack with 2 attacks because of a strike value and 1 attack because of his second wind. The ghost will react by attacking itself. 13 is not enough. Sagan, 20 isn't enough. Here we have, but 11 and 10, and once again 15 rounded up is 8 or less. 15 and 13, nothing happens. Let's try this again. So the Vengeful Spirit, with an 8, it managed to score equal or below its defense. Sagan, natural 1, 3 and 7. These are 3 hits. Or the critical hit only means that he wins. And he will use one of the weak points to transfer the 7 to another one so that he will have 2 hits. And a 2 is enough to destroy this ghost. That was more difficult than expected. Okay. And with all this, Sagan is out of activations. Theros will try to do the Doomed one and activate Encounter 1. Encounter 1. Crossing the desecrated temple Bailey, you begin to ascend up the crumbling stairway to the main building, the ancestral hall. Resonant humming fills the air as the horned silhouette vanishes behind the corner ahead. Hastening your steps, you round the bend, only to catch a fleeting glimpse of a massive iron club swinging down towards your head. Place 1 Oni Marauder on Encounter 1, which is here. Place Encounter 2, move or place Reset to Distracted 1 space north of 1. Okay, here is there, 1 space north of 1. So the blue Resetsu gets up here. The hero who triggered the encounter suffers an attack with a surprise trait from the Oni Marauder. Place 1 Oni Marauder on encounter 1. Okay, so it's the same space as, oh goodness. If the hero has a normal activation available, they may attempt to dodge the, to avoid it. Yeah, Theros would like to do that. So it suffers an attack with a surprise attack. So let's go with the Oni Marauder. Defense of 10. It's not enough, and with the dodge it also fails, so these two are fumbling, but 1, 2, Theros goes back. I'll place an Oni Marauder here, and let's see what happens afterwards. I believe I have the semblance of a plan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Theros will just move here, and with this he will finish his turn. Sagan will just turn around where he is. Now the heroes get into their reactive turn. The Oni Marauder gets 2 points, and the blue Rosetsu, once again, with the distracted rule, gets 3. The Oni Marauder will activate. He will walk 2 spaces up to here and attack Sagan. Before that, Theros will activate. He will use the Soporific Grenade in hope to paralyze the Oni Marauder. And just in case, Theros will try to make a dodge. So, Theros needing a hit with 13 or less as soon as the 1, 2, 3, 4, as soon as the Oni Marauder tries to move. 17, it's not the case, so this meant nothing. 1, 2, the Oni Marauder gets close to Sagan. As said, Sagan will try to dodge. The Oni Marauder with the higher reach, offense of 14, 2 attacks. 2 and 13, 2 hits. Sagan with an agility of 11 rolls an 8, successfully dodges into the same space as the Oni Marauder. The Oni Marauder once again tries to attack, and Sagan uses second activation to attack the Oni Marauder too. So Sagan has, let's start with the Oni Marauder. The Oni Marauder has 2 strikes, 9 and 18. The 18 is above the 14, therefore only the 9 is hitting. Sagan has 3 attacks. Defense of 14, 4, 11 and 5. The 11 is enough to win the confrontation, so the 4 and the 5 is cancelled by the 9th of the Oni Marauder, but the 11 is enough to cancel the 9. Therefore Sagan wins this confrontation. He has a total power of 15. The Oni Marauder has an armor of 3, therefore 12 or less to wound. 17 is not enough to wound, but the Oni Marauder gets not a wound, a weak point. Now the blue Rosetsu, in his active phase, any walk towards enemy. So 1, 2, 3, it's the first activation. Second activation, 1, 2, 3, and he has the closest enemy. But before he does that, as soon as he comes here around, Theros will try to attack with his Thenian crossbow against the blue Rosetsu. Therefore he has to make an intelligence roll of 13 or less. Natural 1, great. Now all he has to do is hit, or since it's an attack he declared, the blue Rosetsu is distracted. If attacked, read secret log B0, 118 once again. And attack slices clear through the horned figure with no resistance. Smokes the blue Rosetsu, remove the blue Rosetsu miniature immediately, so whoop, he's away, luckily. So with this, it's the hero's turn. The Oni Marauder gets 2 token, and the heroes get 2 token each. In the strategic phase, also Theros will get the Soporific Grenade back, and he will immediately use it again against the targetless. It's a blast, it's the same space, so he will not use it. What if the Oni Marauder activated model line of sight to enemy within 1 inch, which is not the case. Attack outside, no line of sight, dodge towards the attacker. Okay, so Theros will 1, 2, get here, back. He will, let me just redirect. Heroes must perform a moral roll. On a fail, perform another die roll and walk 2 spaces either towards the exit. Okay, so Theros a moral roll with a 15. He had to walk 1, 2 spaces anyway. This is the Chaos card, I forgot. Walk 2 spaces either towards the exit or entrance. With the 18, it would be towards the entrance, so 1, 2 here. Sagan is fearless, so he does not have to roll. Okay, so still anything good. Theros walks up to here, using his Thenian crossbow at the Oni Marauder, who will activate and try to dodge towards Theros. So the Oni Marauder dodging with a 9. It has an agility of 8, so it failed. Theros 17 or less. Natural 20. I have really bad luck. But nevertheless, the Oni Marauder walks up to here. And with the next activation, Theros once again. Theros? Second? Yeah, Theros will activate once again. He will shoot at the Oni Marauder, who will try to dodge a second time. Oni Marauder with a 7 successfully dodges. Theros with a 15 would have hit, but the Oni Marauder now, seeing it coming, dodges here. Now Sagan will activate, moving 2 spaces towards the Oni Marauder and attacking it unopposed. So with this, he has 3 attacks in total, using his second wind of fencing 3. These are 3 hits. 15 minus 3 is 12 or less. 4 and a 3 are 2 wounds. And the 17 is another weak point. And the second activation of Sagan will hopefully do something similar. 4, 20 and 5. These are only 2 hits. And now needing 15 minus 12 or less once again. And 8, and I will say this is an 11. So the Oni Marauder is down. When a hostile becomes incapacitated or dead, do not remove it. So this is quite the massacre. And Sagan will use this 1-2 to get further buff. So next hostile. Terra's Embrace. Choose the hostile with the highest tier on the field. Each hero must roll. If there are no hostile on the, each hero failing the roll must walk towards entrance. Sagan is fearless. And come on. 15 towards the entrance. Let's just check. Fearless. Cannot become panicked. So Sagan would have also had to roll for all of these. Sorry, that was my mistake. So Sagan, 17 or less, he's fine. Now the hero's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Artheros. Since what happens with the blue Rosetsu, I am fine that Sagan will trigger the next one. So he will dodge, simply so that he has a chance to 1, 2, and 3 avoid any danger. So here we are. Encounter 2. You move cautiously to the spot where the figure stood last. The ancestral halls loom ahead, wooden pillars once proud and imposing stand dimmed by age and neglect, their surface worn and cracked. As you reach the top of the stairs, the figure that was just there vanished into thin air. It does not have a soul. What was it? A mind projection, perhaps. Again, that familiar, unnerving presence slithers through your mind. To your left, an eerie green glow draws your attention. A burner. The figure reappears beside it, now almost fully opaque. He is tall, a Syrian form crowned with large curved horns, draped in a tiger pelt and the tattered robes of a rabbit. His appearance is both regal and menacing. Through his features are striking arrogance twists them into something unsettling. The resemblance to Gurren, you recently faced, is undeniable. This is another Rosetsu, a higher form of Oni. His humanoid form speaks to the countless souls devoured to achieve his evolved state. He stands with a relaxed, mocking posture, exuding an air of effortless superiority, as if your very existence could be snuffed out with a casual flick of his claws. Looking at the first round, yeah. The burner beside him contains not incense, but a heap of inscribed bones and cracked skulls. Without hesitation, he plunges his hand into the pile. Green flames wrap the light, casting twisted shadows. Ghostly fog spills from the burner, thickening the air with spectral presence. From beneath the snow you hear the unsettling rattle of bones and faint, tormented shrieks. Behind you, the ogroid you thought dead begins to twitch, his body stirring to life. The fallen undead around you begin to rise, adding the grim contrast of the hall's once sacred silence. Change the instant burner into a profane burner. I suspected as much. Move Blue Rosetsu onto the middle space of Ancestral Hall. He is really annoying. Ancestral Hall, middle space. Here we are. Place one Forgotten Hero on 2 and another on 4. 2 and 4. The Fallen Oni Marauder regains 1 HP. And all activation points. And we place encounter 3 on 3. So I will just put that and see you in the next turn, or more precisely in Theros' next turn. Okay, with all this placed down, I also put back the 2 weak points. The Oni Marauder has to immediately make a dodge because Theros, in his second activation, will use his Thenian crossbow and try to put the giant down. Once again, Oni Marauder with an 11 unsuccessfully, Theros with an 8 at least successful. 17 minus armor 3, 14 or less. 19 it is. 6 plus 3. 19 minus armor 3, 16 or less. 15. This Oni Marauder is down once again. And Sagan uses Ranger class to get 2 spaces back. Now, luckily the Oni Marauder is down again. I will not put any of these incapacitated token. I will just hopefully remember that all opponents back here, all 5 of these, are incapacitated. So basically, field of incapacitation. So, starting with the ones who are the lowest tier, which are the Forgotten Heroes. They are, here is no line of sight. Where is here? Here's a marker from here back here. No, I would say not, because there's no white border, and here's also no white border. So, I'll begin with this Forgotten Hero. In his activation phase, Marksman, closest enemy, a Sagan in both cases, no line of sight, other, walk, stop with line of sight to enemy. From this one, I would say here is a line of sight to Sagan. And line of sight attack with Corroded Warbow. He will do that. Corroded Warbow has strike value of 1. And Sagan will use it to dodge. So Corroded Warbow, 14 or less. Natural 1. Sagan, also a natural 1. Luckily, Sagan, with his dodge action, is able to dodge this arrow. Whew. Because 2 critical hits cancel out each other. So Sagan is the lucky one in this case. Then 1, 2. He moves again because he did not had any other reaction. And he will once again attack Sagan with his Corroded Warbow, which has Poison 1 and Stagger. And Sagan, one second try, it has a power of 13, minus his armor of 6, reduces it to, Sagan will try to take the hit this time. Theros will activate, and Theros will attack with his Thenian crossbow. So, starting with the Warbow at Sagan, at 5 hits, 7 or less. Yeah, damn it. Okay, with this, Sagan is put down. This mission is a catastrophe. Theros, with a 14 at least, hits the Forgotten Hero. Power 19, armor 6, so 13 or less. 7 puts down a wound on the Forgotten Hero. Now this one, 1, 2, and 1, 2. This one just moves. And now the blue Rosetsu, which... Fall Marauder, Incense. Change the instant burner to prevent move blue Rosetsu onto the middle space of Ancestral Hall. Move, but I already stated here, one space north of 1 was here. It was destroyed by Theros as soon as it walked here. I'm a bit confused. Move or place distracted one space north of 1. I did that into the middle of the Ancestral Hall, but it was destroyed already, so I couldn't move it. I could place it. I assume, since here it is explicitly move or place the blue Rosetsu and here's only move, that this would have been the case if the blue Rosetsu would not be on the field anymore. Let's have a quick look. Oh, quest rule. I forgot to read that. If the profane burner is present, do not remove dead or incapacitated hostile. In the strategic phase of the hostile turn, all undead on the dead space resurrect. Full HP and... oh god, the command undead spell cannot use the if profane burner is present and there are no weather effects in place, all range suffer -2 when casting a spell. Model may 1 mana or -1 when cast profane becomes the resort instant. Okay, I think I will cut it short, because with Theros alone and all the undead, which is all, respawning, I think this mission is a failure. So with this, I have taken my first, hit back. I have nothing new here. This is quite a lot of undead. I will keep the cards out. And I will retry this quest